Good morning, coffee and sports. This is Play Action Sports Football, or Play Action Football 1978. I just got this yesterday. Picked it up from the printers yesterday afternoon. And last night, for the first time, I shared how I play this homebrewed. We call it hot rodding. I play a hot rod version of the game. And I thought this morning I'm still in the mood, so I'm going to play another game here and share it on the channel. This is week one. I don't know which game yet on the schedule as far as the full schedule, but in Miami at New York, this is a week one game for them. So the Dolphins come in here, a +1 offense. Their defense is 0. They run a 34 base. They win 11-5 in real life. The New York Jets come in here with a +1 offense. Again, their defense is average, and they run a 34 as well. They were 8-8, and here's what's so fascinating. They both, we're talking about they're identical across the top, and they both ran the ball 59% of the time. The Jets had a better place kicker across the board than did the Dolphins. Of course, the Dolphins had a 3-game edge on New York, and I believe it started with Miami winning this game in real life. So I've had a observation, and this is true, that the penalties seem to show up more often in the way I'm doing it custom, and that is indeed true. However, I don't have a problem with it because, like real NFL football, the flag is out all the time, but they're declined very often. And when you look at the penalties on a box score in pro football, you're going to see only the penalties that were accepted. You don't see the 5, 6, 7, 10 penalties that teams declined. A couple of weeks ago, I think the Broncos had 11 penalties accepted against them in a game, but they probably had 20 flags thrown against them, and not half of them were declined. So I don't see the yellow as a penalty. I see it as I don't see it as a taken penalty. But so if you watch American football, it's one of the gripes that fans of other sports like soccer, rugby, the game stopped all the time, and there's always a conversation about a yellow flag and a call. So I actually felt it was pretty dang realistic because I watch a lot of football. It's like, damn, I'm so fed up with these flags flying. However, but I thought I would show it's a very simple way to remedy that. If the execution die is blank, right, any penalty that pops up, it will be ignored. So if the offense wins or the defense wins, then penalties won't count. Excuse me, I'm talking wrong. If blank shows up, penalties will count. So if I happen to roll a penalty when this is blank, then we're going to be looking at a potential penalty. So see this die also as our potential, and this should cut some of the penalties down. So it's pretty simple. Here we go. And with that said, we're going to kick it off. We have the Jets at Miami. Miami at the Jets, and the Jets receiving the opening kickoff. So let's go ahead and do that. And the Jets, 64, the Jets are going to get this ball at the 1-yard line. And their return, 8, very nice, 29 yards up to the 30-yard line for the New York Jets. This era for the Jets was, okay. Don Shula and the Dolphins always seemed to be competitive, even when they had off years. We got Bob Greasy. This running back, Williams, was a 1,200-yard back for the Dolphins. He basically marked the end of the Dolphins dominating 1,000-yard backs. It would be years before Dan Marino later would have a 1,000-yard back in his backfield. Williams was somebody special. He ended up seeing his career cut short. Harris. Dariel Harris at receiver, Nat Moore at wide receiver, Tillman at tight end. We've got Moore, Kuchenberg, Langer, Little, and Current. 3 of these studs were on the 72 Dolphins, so that's amazing. On the flip side, the New York 34 defense has Pyler, Salem, and Klecko in the front 3. The 4 backers behind them, Hennessy, Hennigan, Martin, and Jackson. Keller, Hennessy, Hennigan, and Martin. I missed that. Jackson, Taylor, Suggs, and Owens are the defensive backfield. All right, here we go. And again, The Jets actually, in real life, ran the ball 59% of the time. I can't promise when I call plays that I'm going to stay within that. I try to call plays based on what makes sense, down and distance. But with that said, we're going to run long right out of the gate inside. So now if a penalty comes up, it would count here is 15. 15 is 2d6. So Long's first carry of the day up the gut on this Miami defense for 5 yards. We're up to the 35. It is 2nd and 5. The crowd here quiet and watching on as Durkin gets a pitch out. It's going to be offense +1. 5 + 1, 6. Nowhere. 3rd down as Durkin's cut down by I read off the wrong offense and defense. By the one and only A.J. Dewey. So let's go over that offense. Robinson for the Jets. Durkin, Long are the backs. Gaffney, Walker, and Barkham are catching passes. Ward, Rasmussen, Fields, Alexander, and Powell are the offensive linemen. On the flip side, this 34 defense on behalf of Miami, Van Den Herder, Baumhauer, A.J. Dewey, Stud, Bo Camper, Towell, Chambers, Gordon, Thomas, Johnson, Foley, and Volk. Baumhauer, Bo Camper, they are what's left over from the Killer Bees. Or actually, they're going to be part of the Killer Bees in the next few years. I think the 84 Dolphins, 82, 83, 84 Dolphins featured the Killer Bees. They had all those guys with B last names. So anyway, here we go. Sorry about that. I read off the wrong side. But anyway, Miami with a great play there on Durkin. All right, it is 3rd down and 5. And here's a situation where I can't, in good conscience, run the ball on 3rd and 5. So we're going to go short pass. And it's going to be offense again. 8 + 1, 9. It's going to be incomplete. 4th down. He missed it by 1. Looking for Walker on a quick out. And he throws it away quickly as the pressure's coming from A.J. Dewey, right defensive end. And they will punt the ball. So New York's first drive ends in a punt. 7 is a 45-yard punt. 10, 20, 30, 45 down to the 20. And the return for the Dolphins, 5. This will be, can't remember who this was. Might have been Nat Moore, Dariel Harris, 5. 3 yards plus a D10. So 8-yard return, very nice, up to the 28. And the Miami Dolphins take the field for Don Shula, the legendary Don Shula. Probably, now I've talked about this before, candidly, my favorite coach of all time, I think the most remarkable head coach. He achieved something that no other coach in the history of pro football has ever achieved, is Joe Gibbs. But Don Shula, hard to argue he isn't the GOAT, right? I mean, yes, Belichick won a lot of Super Bowls, but we also know that Belichick had help with a couple of cheating scandals and a guy named Tom Brady. If Don Shula had Tom Brady, criminy, he might have won a lot of Super Bowls. Here we go. The Miami Dolphins, again, with Williams, Harris, Bob Greasy under center. Here we go. Miami Dolphins going to run the ball with Williams on an outside pitch. Chance at a penalty. Oh, no, I rolled a 2. It's a fumble, folks. Dale Williams gets the pitch, bobbles it. You've got to be kidding me. And Don Shula, if ever there was a coach that hated fumbles, it was Don Shula. He would bench a guy. You know, he would tell him, sit the hell down so you can hold on to the ball. 10. It's going to be a loss of 2D10 times 2. Oh, my God, it's scooped up. Let's see who scoops it up. Black will tell us who scoops it up. 9. Scoops it up. That's going to be Hennigan. Scoops up a bouncing ball. And I'm using a DB because he pitched it outside, so the ball might have got loose on the corner. And it's going to be 5 times 2. 10-yard return. Down to the 18. The crowd here is stunned as Williams, with a fumble lost, it's scooped up by Hennigan. And a good return. And the Jet fans on their feet roaring. Beautiful. All right. So we have not seen a yellow pop up. But remember, today, if it's blank, that means a flag indeed did. So very simple. If it's execution on either side, we ignore the penalty flag. However, I honestly believe we're rolling dice. It's random. It just happened to be a day where I rolled a lot of yellow. All right. Robinson races into the huddles him up tight. The crowd here roaring. They wait for him to come as he comes to the line of scrimmage. And he's going to run Durking up the gut. And it's going to be 10. 10 is 66. And Durking, hard fought 1 yard run as his feet slide out from under him here in New York as A.J. Dewey, Baumhauer, and Bocamper collapse him. 2nd down and 9. The Jets line up. We're going to take a shot, medium pass to Walker. Wesley Walker, baby. Defense, no modifiers. Again, the Dolphins, despite names here that are fantastic, they don't affect play. 8 on a medium pass is incomplete. 3rd down, the crowd grumbles as Robinson on a rollout tries to throw it into the end zone. No go. And the Jets now sitting in a bad position. This is where I should have ran the ball. 3rd down. We're going to call a draw play. We're going to lure them, hopefully, into pressuring, and we're going to trick them into an open gap draw play. And 9 on the draw play. This is going to be long, by the way. 9 on the draw play is D6 yards. 1, pow! A.J. Dewey reaches out with a paw, coming around the end, and gets the back of Long's jersey, and he grinds out until they can, Towel and Chambers can finish him off. Folks, it is 4th down. They got 2 yards. The crowd grumbling a little bit here. It's early in the season. You don't want to grumble too much. This team might be a Super Bowl champ. But the Miami defense gets the job done. Hot damn, I love this game. All right, we're going to kick a field goal here. Red is high for me. And we're looking at a 33-yard field goal. 75% chance. And it is good. Field goal. New York gets a field goal of 30. I just said it, Jay. 33 yards. And that's points off turnover because they recovered a fumble here. Holy cow, man. Great play. Kick return. It's going to be a touchback, so it's boomed through the end zone after that field goal, and the Jet fans are happy here, but they feel they could have had more if Robinson could have completed that medium pass into the end zone. All right, Bob Greasy, barking orders understood. It's going to hand it off to Williams. This time inside. Don't fumble, Williams. It's going to be 11. 11 is D6 plus 1. Williams gets the ball, churns out just 2. Holy cow, they are hitting hard down there today. Completely different than my game last night as the Redskins and the Lions were racking up 10-yard carries and 12-yard carries, especially Riggins. 2nd down and 8. Bob Greasy under center. The crowd here is loud. He's going to hand it off to Harris inside, and they're going to get a +1 to this. 14 plus 1, 15. 2 D6s. So Harris gets the rock, and there it is, folks. 7-8 yards and a 1st down is Harris. They make room, and Harris bounces it outside, picks up 8, and then steps out at the sticks. They signal 1st down. The crowd here in New York grumbling. Miami, Bob Greasy under center, snaps, pitches to Williams. Don't fumble. It's going to be defense, no effect. 20. Oh, he's gone. Williams is going to make up for the fumble on a long run. D10 plus 5. So it's got, oh my God, 15, but we also roll the long gain. He could break it. 15 plus 20. Holy cow, D10 plus 5, so 20. And then another run of 20, 40 yards. Williams, I got to make a note of that. Williams has his first breakaway run. We did not see a breakaway play in the first game. 40-yard run. This is why I always warn people, one sample game is not... There's no way to judge what's happening here. Last game, we had a lot of runs, and we had no one with a big pass or a big run, but we had a lot of yellow into the air. This game, we've seen Williams fumble. We've just seen our first big run of the year. 10, 20, 30, 40. And Dell Williams was a stud. There it is. Hot damn. And that was... and technically, despite they don't have a modifier, but technically the Jets were in the right formation. They just, Williams stiff arms away Hennessy and bounces it to the corner and is gone down the sideline. Holy cow. Bob Greasy huddles him up. The crowd now roaring. However, it took the crowd a while to get past that. And here it is. We're going to hand it off to Harris on an inside run. It's going to be defense again. 13. D6 plus 3. 8 yards. Holy cow, folks. We're down to the 22. 2nd down and 2. As Harris plows through that New York 34 defense. And Miami, Bob Greasy under center. Barks hard. Can't hear him. Crowd too loud. Snaps it. Hands it off to Harris a second time inside for 9. And he gets 2. first down, and the crowd here grumbles as Joe Colecco and company are huddled up at the line of scrimmage as Bob Greasy takes them back. Don Shula was brilliant in that he loved to eat as much of the clock in the huddle as he could, especially before the era of the game of the play clock. So the Dolphins would stay in the huddle and eat as much time as they possibly could before they would then run the ball for 8 and then eat up more time. So the Dolphins would just grind out that clock. Dolphins come out of the huddle late. Bob Greasy with a lift of his heel signals the snap, and Williams is going to get a pitch out. Try to get him to the edge. It's going to be 17. D10 plus 5. Williams is a stud. He's going to get a D10 plus 5, so 6 yards. Williams down to the 14. Second down and 4. Williams comes back to the huddle already looking a little mussed as he's had some carries. He's had a fumble. He's had a 40-yard run. He's already looking a little dirtier than everybody else on the field. Miami Dolphins in the huddle. They come out. They're going to line up. They're going to hand it to Williams on an inside run. And they're going to execute with a +1. Oh, my God. 18, 19 is D10 plus 4. Williams pounds through for 7 more. Down to the 7. First and goal. The crowd here in New York now getting very antsy as they've watched the Dolphins run the ball right down the field. Williams has been brilliant. And it is first and goal from the 7. Bob Greasy under center. Snaps the ball. He's going to hand it off to Harris inside. It's going to be defense, but they don't have an effect. Oh no, 15. 15 is D10 plus 2. 1 plus 2 is 3 yards. 1, 2, 3. Second down, the crowd roars as Harris is drugged down. But Miami is pushing off the ball. By the way, so far, first quarter's almost finished. I have yet to even roll a yellow, much less have I had to pay attention to this die. So we have yet to even roll a penalty. So again, anytime we're using stochastic, right? Every time something's random, you may see more yellow pop up, right? It's just a roll's a roll, right? It just so happens we have yet to hit one. So, that's the nature of dice, right? That's just the nature of dice. Second down and goal from the 4. Williams back in the I formation. Bob Greasy's going to pitch to the corner, and this 3-4 has got to find a way to trip him up. And it's going to be 13. 13 is D6 plus 3. No, Williams is going to score. Yep, he skips into the end zone. Williams and it's fitting that he should get in as he had a 40-yard run to get him here, and he fumbled early to set up the Jets' only score. Williams with a 4-yard run as he skips into the end zone, and the extra point is good. That wraps up the first quarter, folks. Miami 7, Jets 3. We're looking good. We have yet to see, I have yet to roll a single yellow. So, there you go. 2. 64 yards. Ball is kicked to the 1 again. And here we go. It's going to be 4. Return of 18 plus D6. So 18, 23 yards. We're after the 24-yard line. And the Jets fans are a little nervous as the Miami Dolphins just churned out a hell of a drive there as Williams got a 40-yard rumble. Second quarter underway here in New York. And Robinson now going to hand it off the long, going outside. It's going to be a little handoff. He's going to run it around the end. The Dolphin defense would win this, but they have no bonus. So it's going to be 8. 13. 13 is decent. There's our first potential flag. However, remember I've changed it, so if it's blank, it counts. If either team is winning, we ignore it. 6-yard run though, it's a killer, as there could have been a potential hold there. That tells me they got that 6 yards long, and the Dolphins are crying, hold, 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 and the referees ignore them. Right? There's an example of how I can narrate how that yellow should have been called and was not. That's outstanding. That would have been our first penalty of the first quarter here. Here we go. Jets. Robinson under center. Barking hard signal. Snaps, turns, hands it off to Durking. Up the gut. 16 is D10 plus 2. Durking tears through for 9. That's going to be up to the 39 and the first down. The crowd roars as Durking now driving those legs. Both these teams ran the ball almost 60% of the time. Unbelievable. They're almost a mirror of each other, except the kicking, of course, favors the Jets, and the record, the real-life record, favors the Dolphins. But Outside of that, we're looking at two teams that should be close, barring the stochastic events. All right, here we go, folks. It is first down and 10 at the 39. The crowd quiet. Robinson barks hard, snaps it. He's going to hand it off the long of the gut. They're going to keep churning it out. Oh, and we're going to win at the point of attack. No chance at a penalty. So we got 10 plus 1 is 11. D6 plus 1. Long barrels through for 4. Gets the league average, baby, up to the 43. Second down and 6. Outstanding. Second down and 6. The crowd here quiet. Long and Durking in the I formation. Durking, Robinson barks orders. They shift into a pro set. He snaps it. He's going to drop back and look for a screen pass to Long. And there it is. Ball's in the air, folks. There can be a penalty on this play. 8 on short is incomplete. Robinson misses. Oops. Sorry, I'm looking at screen. 2 yards. 1-2. He completes the pass down to Long on a screen, but the Dolphins wrap him up and drag him down quick. A.J. Dewey, Stoll, Bullcamper, all wrap him up, pull him to the ground. It is third down and 1, 2, 3, 4. Third and 4. Robinson lines up, hard count, trying to draw him offside, snaps the ball. He's going to drop back, throw short, looking for Gaffney. A penalty can happen. 7. 7 is pass defense. However, there it is. So, a pass deflected, and there is a chance at a penalty. The penalty is 7. It's going to be offense post-play. Offense post-5 on a pass. Holding 10 yards. They're going to decline it. It's fourth down. And Miami, Don Shula tells his captain, no, we don't want any of that. And they're going to have to punt, folks. Brilliant game. 10, boom, 55 yards. It is literally in the end zone. They're going to let it bounce through. It is a touchback. And the Dolphins take the field. They are up here in the second quarter, 7-3. Williams had a rough start with an early fumble, but then made up for it with a 40-yard run, a couple of nice runs, and then he finished it with a 4-yard touchdown run. Williams made up for that fumble, toot sweet. The Dolphins hold. The Jets work it out. They move out to the 45. The Jets literally hang in there. They decline a penalty, and the Jets boom it into the end zone. All right, Bob Greasy under center. He snaps the ball from the broken eye, handed off to Williams inside. And it's going to be defense if they had an effect. 6 is a penalty, but we ignore it because this is not blank. So here's a chance it would have been our second penalty only. So not bad. Nowhere. Second down. He gets hammered. Cut down by Klecko and Solemn. And no penalty. Again, you see Pilers barking at the line judge that the Miami Dolphins jumped off sides, and the line judge shakes his head, ignores him, locates the ball. Bob Greasy now, 2nd and 10. We're going to run the ball on a draw play to Williams. And it's going to be the Dolphins execute, +1. We're going to get, oh my gosh, 16 plus 1, 17 on a draw play. D10 plus 7. He rips through, folks. Dell Williams. There it is. 14 yards up to the 34-yard line. The crowd here stunned as Williams is running at will. This offensive line and Williams are in sync. Remember, Williams was a 1,200-yard back, one of the best performances for the Dolphins since Zonka and Kick were a dominant pair, right? And, oh my God, Mercury Morris. All right, Dolphins, Bob Greasy under center is going to take a shot here. We're going to go ahead and take a shot deep. Play action. We're going to be looking for more deep. And there it is. The defense would win this, but it has no modifier, and there can be no penalty now. So 9 and 6, 16 on a medium pass is D6 plus 13, baby. 13, 16 more yards. We're going to come up to the 16. That would be 10. Up to the 50-yard line. First down, and Miami in 2 plays, just eating chunks out of this 34 defense. Again, both teams were 0. So, again, not dominant. They weren't giving up extra yardage, but they certainly weren't slowing down opponents necessarily. The Dolphins under center. Bob Greasy's first completion. He's only thrown it, I think, 1 time, and there it is, folks. He might have got another one earlier. All right, Williams, we're going to pitch to Williams, who's dominating. Oh, 20, he's gone, off to the races. No penalty, 1D10 plus 5. So 9, 14, and there's a chance he could take this to the house. 14 No, just 14 more. Holy cow, down to the 36-yard line. And 3 plays. The Dolphins have down to the 36. Williams with another 14-yard run. Man, it's outstanding. And right now, the Jets don't know what to do. They're actually starting to bark at each other back there in the huddle. As Bob Greasy watches on through between the legs and the hips of his linemen in the huddle, watching those Jet linemen where they line up and listening to them bark back and forth. The crowd here in full throat. Bob Greasy comes out, lines up. He's going to hand it off to Harris inside. It's going to be 14 plus 1, 15, 2D6. Holy cow, Harris rips through the gaps for 7 more. We are down to the 29-yard line, 2nd down and 3. And right now, the New York 34 defense of New York has no answer for this Miami running game. We're going to pitch it to Williams again. This time the defense would step up if they had a rating. They don't, 14. So it's going to be 2D6. Again, no yellow at all in these plays. 4 more and a 1st down as Williams hits the edge. And folks, these backs have got to be getting tired. And we're going to sub Davis in as Williams takes a break. Harris in the backfield. Miami's going to call a quick short pass to Harris out of the backfield. And they're going to execute. So it's going to be 6. It's going to be 8 plus 1 is 9. Cannot have a flag incomplete. 2nd down. Bob Greasy can't complete the swing pass into the flat as Martin breaks on that ball and gets to him, knocking that ball free. 2nd down and 10. Williams subs back into the game. Davis stays in with Williams, and it's going to be a handoff up the gut to Davis. And we're going to see the defense affect this. If they could, they cannot. No penalty because of it. 12. 12 is inside 4 yards, so we plow down to the 22. It's 3rd and 6. Bob Greasy, the crowd here loud. They want to stop this drive. It's been excellent, but it's only 7-3. No time to panic until points start going on the board. We called this bend but don't break back in the day, right? Back in the 70s, these would be known as bend but don't break defense. You let them move it, and then you tighten up. Holy cow, it is 3rd and 6. Bob Greasy, what are you going to do? Well, we're going to kick a field goal. Don Shula's old school. He's going to make sure he comes away with some points after a drive like this. And so we're going to run Williams up the gut, setting up for a better field goal position. I dropped the die, so we get that die up here. Okay, there it is. So we're going to run inside with Williams. Maybe he'll break it open. 8, defense would affect play. 8 is 2 yards. Williams, hard charging, but it's 4th and 4. They're going to kick a field goal, and we're looking at a 37-yarder. 91% chance that it's good, and it is indeed good. Field goal. 37-yard field goal. And folks, Miami makes it 10-3. And again, that's why Don Shula won 347 some odd regulation games, not counting playoffs and Super Bowls, because you always try to make a drive productive. Come away with something. And this is what drives me nuts about modern football. If you get down there and you don't complete it with points, and let's say I have 10 drives and all 10 result in field goals, that's 30 points, right? So I'm a firm believer you always find a way to get points. It's just a the best coaches in NFL history always came away with something. All right, here we go. Kickoff. 2 is going to be 64 again. Wow, they are consistent. And the return is, nice. 7 is 24 plus 6. Good return coming. 25, so 26-yard line. So the Jets don't have to fret too much. I mean, I know there's got to be a huddle up. The DC's got them huddled up. Linebackers coach, defensive line coach, they're all huddled up over there. They're front 7, and they're pulling their hair out. How can we slow down this Dolphins run attack? No reason to panic, though. It's only 10-3, but it feels worse because the Dolphins seem to be moving the ball at will. All right, again, the real problem here with New York at 8-8 is this Robinson kid. Maybe not very reliable. They're going to go ahead and hand it off to Long inside, and it's going to be a bonus. 14 plus 1, 15 as the offense dominates on that. Great blocks up front. It's going to get him 8 yards. He's up to the 34, 2nd and 2. And the crowd here quiet. They want to see their Jets match the Dolphins with one good drive here. Again, we have not seen much yellow at all in this first half. New York, we're going to run a play action short pass. He's going to roll out to the right, trying to find his tight end Barkham. Snaps the ball. There can be a penalty on this play due to a blank die. 16, holy cow, 16 on a short pass is D10 plus 6. 15 yards downfield, 10 and 5, puts him at the 49-yard line as he rolls to the right. Barkham breaks free of Gordon and catches it in the flat, streams down the field. They have to push him out of bounds. And folks, it is first down. Jets fans roar as Robinson on a nice little rollout finds his tight end in a parallel pattern. All you got to do is run along with him and get in front of him. Here we go. We're going to hand it off outside to Durkin. Scott Durkin gets the carry. 5 is nowhere. He's hammered. A.J. Dewey reaches out and turns on the Jets, wraps both arms, slides down the legs, and Durkin just bounces on this hard AstroTurf in New York as A.J. Dewey is a stud. Second down and 10. Robinson under center, barks, sends Durkin and long into a pro set. It's a good time to throw the ball, but they're going to go first man through long on a dive play right up the gut. And again, there could be a penalty here. 8 is a run for 2. Not good enough, 1-2, but they stick with what they do most, 60 there, and they run the ball. It is 3rd and 8. Now we're in trouble as everyone in the world watching on TV, listening on the radio, knows that the Jets in 3rd and 8 are in a passing situation. They don't have a choice. They're going to have to put it in the air. He's going to drive it into a medium range. We need how much? 8? No, we're going to go short. We're going to go short to Wesley Walker. Big, lean, quick as hell Wesley Walker. He snaps the ball, drops back. Both backs stay in to protect, and he's waiting for Walker to break. There it is. He anticipates it. Sure enough, they get a bonus as the pattern is perfect, folks. He runs the perfect pattern. Great anticipation as Robinson makes the throw before he breaks. So +1, it's 13 plus 1, 14. It's going to be caught for 9 yards and the first by 1. They're at the 40-yard line. The crowd roars as Robinson's completed 2 passes on this drive. And now they line up in an eye. We're going to hand it off the long outside. He bounces, hits the line, but bounces to the edge. There can be a flag. 11, 4 more yards down to the 36. The crowd here in full throat. Robinson comes to the line, waits for the crowd to calm, squats under center, snap, turns, hands it to Dirkling inside. Again, there could be a penalty. 15 is 2D6. Dirking rips through the heart of this defense for 5 more. We're down to the 31. It is 3rd down and 1. The crowd again celebrating as they feel it. They feel New York may have a positive drive here. And again, we're in 3rd and 1. There is no doubt. They line up. They bring in 2 tight ends. They're going with a big package. And they're going to hand it to Long on a dive play, trying to get the first down against this 34 Dolphins defense. And yes, they're going to execute beautifully. 9 plus 1 is 10. It's going to be D6. Well, they're going to get it no matter what. But how much? Oh, he just wiggles through, folks, down to the 29. But the crowd roars as they win at the line of scrimmage, and they see Long come out backpedaling and lands on his back as he twists away from tacklers, stumbles, bang, bounces on his back as Miami Dolphins fall on him. But they see him rip through, and the crowd roars. Only 2 yards, but it means a lot when you're driving the ball. They get under center. Long shifted out. They're in a pro set. They snap it. They're going to run a sweep with Durkin following Long in the tight end. And it's going to be a beautiful run of 17 with a chance at a penalty. Outside is D10 plus 5. No penalty. It's going to be 7 yards as they rumble down. And now we're seeing the Jets, who ran the ball 59% of the time, churning out yardage against this 34 defense of the Dolphins. It is 2nd down and 1, 2, 3. 2nd and 3. The Jets under center is Robinson. He barks twice hard, trying to draw him, snaps the ball, pitches it to Long, trying to get to the edge. And the defense would win this if they had an effect. But it's going to be huge and no chance at a penalty. 17 outside is D10 plus 5. Long hits the corner and picks up 6 in the first down. First down at the 16. It is 1st and 10. The crowd roars as the Jets have put on a perfect drive, banging the rock, running the ball. Under center, Robinson barks signal, sends long out of the backfield into the slot. Snap, but it's a first man through inside handoff to Durkin, trying to be tricky and shift that middle linebacker, one of those inside linebackers over. He cheats over and buys room. 9 is 2 yards. 1-2, second down and 8. And great movement of the fullback there to draw those linebackers over to the strong side. And it is second and 8. Robinson under center, barks hard, snaps it, drops back. He's looking at a screen pass to Durkin in the middle of the field, folks. He's letting the pressure come. There could be a penalty. 16. It is indeed a penalty. D6 plus 4. There's only our second penalty. 9-yard catch. It'll be a first down if. Oh, no. What's the flag as we see those zebras huddle up to talk about it? 9 is going to be defense. Oh, they give a preliminary signal. It's against the defense, so the Jet coach knows what's up. And it's going to be a pass interference, 2D6 first down. How far was the pass interference? It was 8. They're going to give the stats to Durkin. He caught it. He rumbled for 9. They're going to let him have it. It's 1 yard more, and good coaches want their players to get those stats if the gain is greater. And so you see Coach, I think this was this Walton? I can't remember if this was Walton. Anyway, he declines it as they give a preliminary signal of pass interference. He has not announced it yet to the TV audience. You see the Jets coach decline it. They turn to the TV audience. They announced that it was pass interference against Gordon, and it's declined. First down, the crowd roars as they were concerned. When they saw that flag go, they couldn't believe it. They thought for sure it would be a hold or illegal man downfield. Screen pass generally is illegal man downfield. And the Jets having a brilliant drive here midway through the second quarter. They're going to hand it off to Long inside. And it is going to be, they're going to win the point of attack for 13, D6. This could be it, folks. Touchdown. Long pounds into the end zone. Did I say Long? I think I said Long. It's going to be a 5-yard run, and the crowd roars as he skips into the end zone. The extra point here is good, and the crowd in full throat. And they're going to carry that cheering onto the kickoff. 5, kickoff is touchback. The crowd still in full throat. They do not like the Miami Dolphins here in New York. They do not want to open up the season 0-1 to a division rival in the Miami Dolphins. What an excellent drive. We did see a flag come out on that drive. However, it was declined. Miami, who's basically been able to run the ball, but has had to settle for a field goal. They had a fumble on their first snap of the game, and they've survived it thus far. Folks, it is 10-10. Unbelievable, man. 10-10. Gotta love it. All right, Miami. Bob Grease is going to hand it off to Williams on the outside. He's going to run to the corner behind blockers. Defense would win something here if they could do it. They cannot. 11. It's going to be a run for 4 yards as Harris now punches it out. Harris is on the road to 100, almost to 200. I would suspect if this continues, he's going to get 140, 150 yards rushing today. They're going to hand it off to Harris inside. Plus, they're going to win the point of attack here. 6 plus 1, 7. They get a yard. Oh, the Jets. They have been counseled by their DC, and their defensive line and linebacker coaches have got together to discuss what's going on with the blocking schemes up front, and they have cut them down on 2 plays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 3rd and 5. Bob Greasy's going to drop back and throw here, and they're going to go deep. If you're going to do it, you might as well take a shot deep. But Bob Greasy backpedals 9 steps, folks. Back in the day, you would sprint back 9, trying to buy time on those angled pass rushers and then step up if you had to. Bob Greasy drops deep. He's looking for more. Down the field, snaps the ball. Defense would win the day, but they don't have a modifier. 9, there can be no penalty. Incomplete. He throws it wide of more, deep down the sideline. Incomplete. They will punt. And they're onto the field. The crowd roars as they have forced the Dolphins off the field for the first time outside of the turnover. 45 yards, 10, 20, 30, 45. They need a big return. A 10 would be exhilarating. No. It's going to be fair catch. So it was a boomer. This would have been, I think, Reggie Roby. I'm not certain if they would have had Reggie Roby by then, but Roby was famous for booting really high. Killer kicks, man, that would buy time for coverage. All right, folks, final few minutes of the first half. Miami 10, Jets 10. The Jets came off a wonderful drive. Can they repeat it? They're going to run long inside. And it's going to be 3. Fumble. Ball's on the ground. Long popped. He's hammered, folks. Who recovers this fumble? 5 is going to be offense. Line of scrimmage, so he gets it back. So Long gets popped. Ball comes loose. And as he goes to his knees, he wrangles it in before he is buried under Dolphins. As they all fight for that ball, it is 2nd and 10. Robinson now looks over the defense, barks some order, snaps. He's going to go screen pass to Durkin. They send Durkin out. 14 plus 1, 15. Great screen pass, 6 yards. Durkin makes the catch, tiptoes up the sidelines, following blocks. And it is 3rd down and 1, 2, 3, 4. 3rd and 4. The New York Jets looking good. The crowd here happy. Robinson under center, barks orders, snaps the ball. It's going to be a dive. It's 3rd, but they're going to run it long inside. They're going to execute a beautiful block. 12-13 is going to be D6 plus 3. They can get the first. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. First down on the button, and the crowd roars here in New York as the Jets are beginning to exercise some dominance of the line of scrimmage over the last couple of drives. And there it is, folks. Long buries through. All right, Jets get to the line of scrimmage. It's quiet. Robinson looks over the defense, and he's going to take a shot deep to Wesley Walker. Snaps the ball, fakes the handoff, drops deep on a play action, heaves it into the air. This can be a penalty. It is incomplete. He just misses him deep down the sideline. But you've got to do it, folks. You should throw a bomb once a series to make sure you remind the defense you're willing to do it and to back people off of you. New York Jets, 2nd and 10. We're going to hand it off to Durkin. Pitch out. He pitches to Durkin. There can be a penalty. 13, pitch out. 6, and there would have been a penalty, or there is a penalty because we're blank. So he gets 6. And what's the penalty here, folks? So it's only our 3rd flag now. 9. 9 is going to be, where's my penalty chart? There it is. 9 is, defense. Oh no, flags down again. The Jets hold their breath. They come back on an 8, and they say, spearing, 15. The crowd roars as they're going to get another 15 yards. 10 down to the 39. The crowd absolutely roars when they see that signal of unsportsmanlike conduct as A.J. Dewey came down on the back of the guy. Once he was on the ground, A.J. comes rushing in and drives a head and shoulders and a helmet into the back of Durkin. I think the Miami Dolphins might be getting a little bit frustrated with this Jets run game. All right, Robinson, hard count, snaps the ball. It's going to be a handoff to Long, up the gut, and the defense would win here, 12. 4 yards, and they pound down to the 35, 2nd and 6. Right now, I'm running the ball. I'm doing exactly as these teams would have in real life. We're just racking up yards. Here we go. We're going to pitch it out to Long this time. It is an actual pitch, and they're going to win the point of attack. So I would see this, we line up in a pro set, snaps the ball, and it's just a quick pitch to the weak side, which means the split end would be coming back on a crackback block. So he crackbacks A.J. Dewey and goes for 13, is 6 yards, no chance at the flag. That would have been a flag, but because they execute, no flag, and he gets 6 on a beautiful crackback block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. First down at the 29. The crowd roars as they see Wesley Walker at the snap of the ball drive hard at A.J., pin A.J. with a crackback block, and Long gets around the end, picks up 6, steps out of bounds, stopping the clock. This is the final drive of the half, so they got to be aware of the clock. First down and 10 from the 29. The Jets are executing beautifully. They're going to run the ball. Durkin up the gut. They're going to win the point of attack. 11 is D6 plus 1. Durkin swiggles through, picks up another 6, down to the 23. 2nd down and 4. The crowd roars. Robinson gets to the line of scrimmage, tells the crowd to calm. They do. He sets up under center, snaps the ball. He's going to drop back on a quick short pass looking for Gaffney. He drops back. They get the blocks they need, but it's incomplete. He misses Gaffney wide of the mark. 3rd down. The crowd grumbles there. They don't like the call, but you got to keep them honest. It is 3rd and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3rd and 4. They're going to snap the ball. They're going to hand it off to Durkin up the gut with Long leading the way. They're hoping to, if not get the first, position the kick here to go into the half with the lead. And there it is, folks. There will be a chance at a penalty. 15, though, as Long and company get the blocks they need inside 2D6. How will Durking break through this hole? 7 in a first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down to the 16. First down, the crowd roars. And you can imagine the Jets here. He's stepping out of bounds, or they're calling timeouts, or whatever. Remember, the last possession could have been 5 minutes. Doesn't matter. 1st and 10 at the 16. The Jet fans on their feet, folks. Looks like the Jets are going to take a lead into the halftime, but we had a play to find out. Robinson hands it off to Long inside. They're just going to grind it out. 7 plus 1 is 8. 2 hard yards. 1, 2. 2nd down. He brings in Harper. Going to hand it off to Harper as both these backs are getting tired. Harper gets the carry. 11 plus 1, 12. Harper's going to rumble up the gut for 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 3rd down and 1, 2, 3, 4. 3rd and 4. We're going to play for the field goal. That'll break the tie. It's 10-10, folks. Joe Walton here is not going to risk putting the ball in the air in tight confines, so it's going to be a handoff to Harper on a counter, trying to buy space. They show right, but he's going to counter back left. It's a what's called a jab step for the back, and then he takes off to the left. But they jab right. Everybody looks right, and then they cut back. And here it goes, baby, going out inside. 8. There could be a penalty. No, he gets 2. 1, 2. The fans groan as he gets tripped up, but he does manage to fall forward and get 2 yards. It is 4th down. They are kicking a 17-yard field goal. It's a 100. We'll miss. No, it's good, and we're going to get a 17-yard field goal. And that's it, folks. Can you believe it? The Jets score 10 in the second. Miami managed field goal. Folks, halftime, Miami 10, Jets 13. We have seen a total of 4 penalties rolled, and 2 of them counted. So I've rolled, I think, 4. I might have rolled, I think I rolled 4. 2 of them actually counted, and both of them were accepted. So we've technically rolled 4, seen 2, and they counted. So that is pretty damn good. All right, I'm going to stop the video here because my camera is on its last legs. Last night, it didn't charge real well, it looks like. So again, I've got an old camera with a built-in battery. And so, yeah, it isn't like I can just swap out batteries. All right, there it is, folks. So Miami at halftime in play-action football using my home tweaks. This becomes our offensive play call, our offensive execution, our defensive play call, or nobody has advantage. What I did in this game was the only way a yellow could count is if it was no advantage, and that worked beautifully. Anyway, it's 13-10 at halftime. The Jets found a way in the second half to figure out this defense, and man, what a game. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.